Good evening, everyone. Hopefully, you're having a wonderful day so far. I got a good one for you today, but if you're conservative, kind of a bad one at the same time. So, looks like Pierre Poilievre's motion of non-confidence didn't go through. Who's really surprised? Um, so I'm going to go through a little bit from the National Post, and then I got another one from the National Post that has some of the Bloc's demands from the government to keep them in power. So, with no further ado, let's get into it. So, from the National Post, Trudeau apologizes for unparliamentary language, spars with Poilievre over failed non-confidence motion. So I'm going to go through this one a little bit fast because I got a whole live stream that I did of it today that I'm going to cut up and then maybe put into one video, and I'll have all this information on it. So I'm not going to go through it again. So they say, I withdraw the comment about defecating, Trudeau said. I know that the word crap is unparliamentary. And that wasn't, well, that was one of the words, but that wasn't what was said that Fergus was stopping everything for. Anyways, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre's first non-confidence motion of the fall session was defeated by a 211 votes to 120 votes on Wednesday after the Bloc Quebecois, the NDP, and the Greens voted against it, ensuring that the Liberal minority in the House continues to govern. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Poilievre got hearty cheers from their caucus when they rose, respectively, to vote against and in favor of the motion. And, of course, the Bloc Quebecois separatist party is going to hold the rest of Canada hostage just to get some things pushed through. First the NDP, now the Bloc. What else is going to happen? So they say, the costly coalition didn't end when the NDP leader Jagmeet Singh ended his agreement with Trudeau. In fact, it got bigger with the Bloc NDP Liberal coalition. We can call that the Benelib, the Bloc Nib. The Bloc Nib coalition read a statement from the Conservatives in reaction to the result. The Liberals put out a statement on X after the vote, appealing for donations. Let's be clear, Pierre Poilievre's Conservatives want an early election so they can try to execute their hidden agenda to cut off taxes for the wealthy and services for everybody else. No, they want an election right now because they know they're going to destroy you because you're fourth in the polls. And the NDP is just being destroyed. And probably the opposition to the government, the next government, is going to be the Bloc Quebecois. So that's why they're happy and asking for donations right now, that the government didn't go down. Because if there was a vote of no confidence, then NDP and the Liberals would be screwed. Pierre, who has been calling for a carbon tax election for many months now, asked Trudeau why he would not call Canadians to the polls. Pierre said he wants a climate change election. Let's have the election in the right time. Oh, this is what Trudeau said. Sorry about that. Trudeau went on, this is not the time for that. We're going to continue to work for Canadians. No, this is the time for that. Canadians are feeling the pinches that you're getting, well, less pinches, more blows that they're getting from your carbon tax. So we all want to vote. But for some reason, the Bloc and the NDP are still voting with a government that they've told over and over and over again that they've said isn't working, and they have no confidence in. But they're just that afraid of the Conservatives destroying them in the polls. Trudeau then shot back by saying that Poilievre would soon see that the House does not have confidence in him as a leader of the opposition. We are focused on delivering for Canadians the things that actually matter, while he is focused on slogans and clapping. We're going to focus on being there for Canadians, says Trudeau. Now, the rest of this stuff is on my live stream that I just did a couple of hours ago. Like I said, tomorrow I'm probably going to cut it up and make a video of it. So let's move on to another National Post article where it says the Bloc Quebecois demands of the government to keep them in power. And while we're waiting, if you like this video, if you could like and subscribe, that would be awesome. I'm trying to hit 500 by the end of the month. And yeah, let's continue. So from the National Post, Bloc levels ultimatum at Liberals, threatens to vote to bring down the government. Liberals' support for the Bloc Quebecois private members' bills on increasing support for seniors and protecting supply management is non-negotiable, Leader Blanchette says. And this is by Antoine Trepanier and Catherine Levesque. Sorry if I ruined your names, but thank you for the article. Let's see what their demands are. In Ottawa, the Bloc Quebecois has drawn its line in the sand. If the Liberals do not pass two of its private members' bills to increase support for seniors and protect supply management by October 29th, it says it will actively work to bring down the government. Well, the Liberals, of course, will protect supply management because they're the ones who brought it in. It was Trudeau Sr. that brought in supply management, which is pretty much just a cartel on our dairy. I think it's just the dairy sector. Well, not just, but it's actually I think it's dairy and poultry. Sorry. If it's not passed, we are going to talk about the other opposition parties with a view to bring down the government. Bloc leader Francois Blanchette said at a news conference in Parliament Hill Wednesday. Well, at least we know, at least he's straight up about that. He's not like Jagmeet, who flip-flops on everything and goes, oh, well, we've ripped up the agreement, now we're going to go vote by vote. And then he switches back after saying he has no confidence in the government, and then votes confidence in the government. Anyways, after that rant, Blanchette keeps going and says, this is the demand in its entirety. It is irrevocable and non-negotiable, saying he will not support the government if it only meets one of his demands. Blanchette argued that October 29th is a reasonable timeline to achieve his party's goals, but also allow Canadians to vote in the federal election before the holiday season. He says, I have no idea why he came up with the October 29th deadline. Maybe he wants to scare people 2 days before Halloween, says NDP Deputy Leader Alexander Bull-Rees. How about because it gives us enough time to go to the polls before winter? Before the holidays, because Canadians most likely do not want to go to the polls during the holidays or directly after the holidays because they might be on vacation, they might be in a turkey coma, I don't know, most likely depressed because of how much money everything is costing and how much money the presents cost. So their bills are Bill C 319, which seeks to increase pensions for seniors aged 65 to 74 by 10%. The independent parliamentary budget officer estimates the proposal could cost $16 billion over 5 years. And that would put so much pressure on the young folk here in Canada. It would be nuts. And they're already having a hard time getting into the workforce, getting good jobs and everything. Now you want to tax them even more? And don't get me wrong, I do want to protect our old folks, but they knew this was coming. They knew from when they were 18 to when they hit 64 that this was the way it was. And as harsh as it might sound, if you're not prepared, why should the young folk and young Canadians who are already struggling pay even more? Bill C 282 intended to prevent federal governments in the future from negotiating adjustments to Canada's dairy and poultry supply management quota system in trade deals has already passed the House and is awaiting review in the Senate. And like I said earlier, this is what's hindering a lot of our trade deals. Blanchette goes on to say, what we are proposing is good for seniors in Quebec, but also for seniors in Canada. It is good for the poultry producers in Quebec, but also for poultry producers in Canada. It's good for everybody. It's not good for trade. And yes, it may be good for seniors, but it's not good for non-seniors. So, okay. International Trade Minister Mary NG said that the Liberal government has already supported the Bloc's bill on supply management. They say we've been very clear that Canadian supply management sector is really, really, really important. The Conservatives are already set to force another confidence vote in the coming days, another opposition day motion. Their second of the fall session will be happening on Thursday, and they will already signal that they will attempt to bring down the government. So, and of course, their parties are just saying, oh, they're just playing games. But I don't think the Conservatives are playing any games. But what do you think? Are the Conservatives just playing games with giving all or setting out all of these non-confidence motions? Or are they ready and willing to bring on an election? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know what you think about the Bloc's demands. Am I right or am I wrong? Also, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. That helps the channel out immensely. If you want to donate to your channel, there's a Buy Me a Coffee link down below. All of that goes back to the channel. And other than that, that's all I got for you. Have a great day.